Assalamu alaikum dear students of class 12. So let's continue our topic, that is chapter number 8, electrostatics. And today's lecture will be part 3 of the same chapter. So as in the previous lecture, we have seen various application of the Gauss's law, that was electric field intensity due to uniformly charged spherical shell or hollow sphere we have done. Then electric field intensity due to an infinitely long straight charged wire, that also we have done, and we had derived that expression in the last previous lecture. So in today's video lecture, we have to derive an expression for electric field due to a charged infinite plane sheet. That's mean we have to solve the third application of the Gauss's law in this lecture. So as usual, let's see some common steps involved in calculating electric field intensity by using Gauss's theorem. So as there are 5 steps. So let's see. First, you have to describe the charge distribution, whether it is linear, whether it is surface or volume charged distribution. Secondly, we have to obtain the flux by Gauss's theorem, and we have to label this equation as 1 or A. Then we have to visualize a Gaussian surface and justify it. Fourth one, we have with the electric field intensity E, capital E, as unknown, we have to obtain flux by calculation using geometry of the structure and symmetry of the Gaussian surface, and we will label this as equation number B or 2. And the last step is nothing but we have to equate right hand side of the equation 1 or A and equation 2 or B, and we have to finally calculate E, that is nothing but electric field intensity. So let's start the third application of the Gauss's law, that is electric field due to a charged infinite plane sheet. So here, consider a uniformly charged infinite plane sheet with surface charge density sigma. Okay, now sigma is nothing but the surface charge density. So first step is what? That we have to describe an charge distribution. So this is nothing but a kind of surface charge density. Now by symmetry, electric field is perpendicular to plane sheet and directed outwards, as you can see in the diagram, having same magnitude at a given distance on either side of the sheet. Let capital P be a point at a distance small r, as you can see in the diagram, from the sheet, and capital E be the electric field at point capital P. Fine. So to find the electric field due to a charged infinite plane sheet at P, we consider a Gaussian surface around capital P, as you can see in the diagram, in the form of a cylinder having cross-sectional area capital A and length of 2 small r, that is 2r. As you can see, it at one side, the half of this cylindrical surface is nothing but small r, so but obvious overall length will be nothing but the 2r with its axis perpendicular to plane sheet, as you can see in the diagram. The plane sheet passes through the middle of the length of the cylinder such that the ends of the cylinder, that is called end caps, as you can see, capital P and capital P dash. So this is called as end caps. And what else you can say? It is nothing but the ends of the cylinder are equidistant at a distance of small r. Yes, so that's why the overall length of this cylinder is nothing but the 2r from the plane sheet. So by symmetry, the electric field is at right angle to the end caps and away from the plane. Its magnitude is the same at P and P dash. So as by the Gauss's law, we know that phi is nothing but Q upon E, and it is equal to closed integral of vector of E dot vector of ds. This is nothing but the Gauss's law, and we label this as equation number 1. So all this in 3 application of the Gauss's law, this equation number 1 will remain same. Okay, so the flux passing through the curved surface is 0 as the electric field is tangential to this surface. Therefore, the total flux through the closed surface is given by, that is phi is equal to closed integral of EDS at P plus closed integral of EDS at P dash. Now since theta is equal to 0, so cos 0 is nothing but 1. So finally what we can say that, see, ds is nothing but the area. Fine. So finally it is nothing but EDS when we substitute when we take the magnitude of this equation. So it will be what? EDS, where ds is nothing but the area. So instead of this ds, if we put it as a, so what it will be? EA plus EA. What is EA? At P and EA at P dash. So finally what we are having? Phi is equal to 2 twice of EA, where E is nothing but the electric field intensity and capital A is nothing but the area. So label this as equation number 2. So here we are having 2 equation with us. Fine. Now as we know that which kind of charge distribution is there, just recall, yes, it is nothing but the surface charge. So if sigma is the surface charge density, so surface, what is the definition of the surface charge density? It is charge per unit area. See, if surface is there, that is what? Charge per unit area. So sigma is equal to Q upon A, and therefore we can write Q is nothing but sigma into A. So from equation number 1, where we were having we can write this sigma is equal to sigma A upon epsilon, because equation number 1 was phi is equal to flux. According to Gauss's law, flux is nothing but Q upon epsilon naught, and as we have seen that the surface charge relation between surface charge density and charge is nothing but Q is equal to sigma into A. So instead of that Q, what else we can write? Sigma into A. So our equation number 1 will become phi is equal to sigma A upon epsilon naught. Now label this as equation number 3. So by equation number 2 and equation number 3, see what we have to find. We have to find electric field. That means we have to derive an expression for capital E. So if you observe equation number 2 and equation number 3, so finally what we can conclude that twice of EA is equal to sigma A upon epsilon naught, because phi is nothing but twice of EA. So instead of this phi, what else we can write? 2EA is equal to sigma A upon epsilon naught. So we have to derive an expression for E only. So finally area can be cancelled, and finally what we can have? E is equal to sigma upon twice of epsilon naught, because 2 is in multiplication form at the left hand side. When it will go to the right hand side, so it will become into the numerator. So finally we are having electric field due to a charged infinite plane sheet is nothing but E is equal to sigma upon twice of epsilon naught. So this is the final expression for the third application of the Gauss's law, that is electric field due to a charged infinite plane sheet. So let's recall all the three applications and the final formula. So first application was electric field due to uniformly charged spherical shell or hollow sphere. So formula for the same was nothing but E is equal to sigma r square upon epsilon naught r square. Here we have considered two cases. At the one case you have to keep that capital R is equal to small r or small r is equal to capital R. So finally what we can have, E is nothing but sigma upon epsilon naught only. And in the second case we have to consider if the charge is at the, so surface charge density will be 0. So finally electric field will be 0. So this was the two cases if the P lies inside the sphere. So final formula for the application number 1 is nothing but E is equal to sigma r square upon E epsilon naught r square. Then second application was electric field intensity due to an infinitely long straight charged wire, and the formula for the same was E is equal to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught small r. Then the final third application was that just now we have derived, that is electric field due to a charged infinite plane sheet, and the formula for the same is nothing but E is equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. So you can compare all these formulas and you can remember all these three application and the formula for these three applications. Now let's see one example. As we have seen the example based on these applications, we have seen the numerical based on the first application, numerical based on the second application. So let's see the numerical based on the third application. So here we have to consider an example, that is the charge per unit area of a large flat sheet of charge is 3 microcoulomb per meter square. Calculate the electric field intensity at a point just near the surface of the sheet measured from its midpoint. So what you have to do, first of all you have to read it very carefully, then you have to imagine it, you have to understand it, and you have to, if you want to draw a diagram, so you can draw a diagram. Otherwise you can imagine all these things in your mind. Then after reading it carefully, what you have to write the data or the given. So here we are having only a surface charge density is given, that is sigma. So sigma is nothing but 3 into 3 microcoulomb per meter square. So micro stand for 10 raised to of minus 6, that is sigma is equal to 3 into 10 raised to of minus 6 coulomb per meter square. Nothing else is given, and we have to find the electric field intensity. So just now we have seen, and as it is we have to find near the surface of the sheet. So immediately you have to recall the formula for the third application of Gauss's law, that is just now we have derived. So the formula for the same, it is electric intensity is nothing but E is equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught. So as we are having sigma with us, 2 is the simple digit and epsilon is itself is 8.85 into 10 raised to of minus 12. When you substitute all this value and if you apply the log to this, so finally you will get the answer as 1.7 into 10 raised to of minus 5 Newton per coulomb. So this is one kind of the numerical that we can solve on the base of the third application of the Gauss's law. So let's stop here. In the next video lecture we will start some more interesting topics.